Good morning. It's Thursday, March 29th, 2018. You're watching the Daily Mix TV by Hill Story Marketing. My name is Sean Patrick Hillman. I'm the CEO. Last night I was at a networking event that a former client and a very dear friend of mine invited me to. It was so much fun. It was a very casual environment for people to just simply have a conversation about what they're up to, things like that. No pressure, very easy. It was a lot of fun. I love networking events. It gives you an opportunity to meet new people, hear about some of the challenges and successes others are experiencing, and glean sage advice that comes from seasoned executives. Look, if you've got the chance to go to a networking event, take it, especially if you're the most shy person on the planet. It'll do your mind and your heart some good to get out there and take a chance. After all, no risk, no reward. Speaking of risk, oh boy, as we all know, it has been a really rough week for Facebook. There are literally dozens of lawsuits and actions being filed against the social platform. So here's a quick snapshot of what's gone down in the last couple of days to help you keep some track, okay? 37 state attorneys general are suing the platform for privacy concerns. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg elected to testify before United States Congress, but shunned the UK's parliament. Playboy yesterday deleted its Facebook account, calling the platform sexually repressive. Actor and comedian Will Ferrell has also deleted his page. BuzzFeed put out a story whose headline read, "A friendly reminder that Instagram uses all of your Facebook data." Apple's Tim Cook slammed Facebook for privacy issues, citing that Apple itself could have made billions of dollars selling Apple's customer data, but elected to do the right thing and focus on privacy instead. Now, according to the Washington Post, Facebook is simplifying its privacy controls in the next couple of months. But in the wake of a lawsuit around housing advertising, where the platform has been accused of allowing landlords to bias against specific income and ethnic groups, using their sophisticated targeting options on the ad platform, Facebook is actually removing ad targeting options that rely on consumer data from third parties. However, it's interesting to note it's going to take them 6 months to bleed that out. So that means at some point by the end of 2018, Facebook will be doing the right thing. Really? 6 months? That's a long time. Now, to top all of this off, Facebook has lost almost $100 billion of market value, or around 18%, in the last week. I mean, look, there could not have been more mistakes and more missteps by Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg and his team, given this crisis and what's going on. And frankly, if I were a board member at Facebook, I'd be calling for a vote of no confidence against Zuckerberg, because what has he done? What has he done to correct this problem? That's a big issue right now in business. Are you holding the right people accountable? I mean, after all, at the end of the day, if you're a publicly traded company, there are certain laws and certain restrictions you have to abide by. And unfortunately, I think Facebook just trampled all over that. And you saw indications of this very early on when Facebook first went public. So this should not be a surprise to anybody. Now, speaking of politics and everything around it, could Netflix have political ambitions? Well, it came out last night that former National Security Advisor Susan Rice has joined the streaming platform's board of directors. Now, this comes in the wake of rumors that former President Obama might get a series from Netflix with his wife, Michelle. Pretty cool. But something tells me this is not just about entertainment, guys. I wouldn't blame Reed Hastings, who's Netflix's CEO, for pushing a political agenda given what's going on right now in D.C. and the clear threat that the White House could pose for him should he have a run-in with the president. So, as an example, this is especially important in light of the rumor mill churning as to what Trump wants to change for Amazon from a taxation point of view. So yesterday, or actually I should say over the last few days, there's been building momentum and rumors in D.C. that Trump was going to go after Amazon. All right. That was strictly from a taxation point of view. The problem right now is started charging sales tax, I believe a year or two ago. I could be wrong about that. But they're still not charging sales tax for third-party resellers that they manage, right? So that's a big problem in terms of loss of tax revenue. So Trump is calling him out on it, and that resulted, in terms of the rumor mill, that resulted in them losing $33 billion in market value in yesterday's trading. So Amazon took a big hit. Now, I got a serious issue with folks like Hastings, or frankly, any CEO getting involved in politics. It smacks of pork barrel policies, which has never helped the people. We need to bring back politicians who actually care about this country and the people. Now, that's not to say that at one point, the career politicians that are in Congress and in the Senate didn't care about the people. Of course they did. That's why you got into politics to begin with. But many of them found, money, all of these kinds of things going on that really, really changed business for them and frankly ended up hurting their constituents. Now, speaking of Netflix, the streaming platform, this is just unbelievable, snagged the top 8 out of 10 originals on the weekly demand chart. So digital originals, like the number 1 spot, is being held by Jessica Jones. They're exclusively available through streaming platforms. Now, it's incredible to me how quickly the landscape has shifted in entertainment from linear traditional studios and networks. Really think about it. You went from basically the big four, so ABC, CBS, NBC, and Fox, to streaming platforms. It's incredible. But it also shows the lack of creativity and what kind of damage that has caused for traditional networks as well as movie houses and studios. So think about this. With subscription streaming platforms overshadowing traditional broadcast and cable, people are literally turning off those industry staples like the big four, defecting to Amazon, Netflix, and Hulu. Movie studios are suffering the same fate. It's all about the lack of originality and the constant rehash, reimagine, reboot of old content. Come up with something new, folks. Look, it's definitely an exciting time in Hollywood because you have an opportunity to be so creative, but so many aren't taking it. That's why Amazon, Netflix, and Hulu is just literally skyrocketing right now. Now, speaking of reboots, normally I don't do this, but a little bit of a throwback Thursday. Holy crap. ABC certainly fell under a lucky star this year. Between the resurgence of American Idol and now the reboot of the 90s hit TV show Roseanne, ABC is kicking some serious ratings ass.
In the history of television, no family was quite like the Connors.
Are you ever sorry we got married?
Every second of my life.
Nothing has changed.
Dad!
Tuesday, March 27th.
I thought you were dead.
Why does everybody else think I'm dead?
The family that looks like us
What are you doing with my pictures?
I'm getting rid of the ones where you guys were fat.
Those are the only ones where we look happy.
lives like us
Can I have some money? I don't know. Mom, can I have some money?
I don't know. Can I have some money?
and laughs like no one else.
And go!
They're back.
I'm not afraid of you.
Give it time.
Roseanne, same cast, new episodes. Tuesday, March 27th on ABC.
Classics really do hold up.
Roseanne's debut Tuesday night snared 18.2 million viewers, which is about 10% higher than the series finale earned 21 years ago. The news of this literally sent shockwaves throughout Tinseltown. Everyone expected this to either be soft, really low ratings, or a bomb, given Roseanne's support of President Trump. Now, it just goes to show you, never count your chickens before they're hatched. Now, you all know how much I detest the recycling of old content. But I have to say, what I've seen, it's not a reboot. It's a continuation, which is a little different. It's just like Will and Grace. It's not a reboot or reimagining like many other failed attempts in the past, like Bionic Woman and Knight Rider and Ghostbusters. This literally picked up 20 years later in the show in terms of their timeline and the content of the characters and those things. So it's not rebooting it or reimagining it in that way. It literally is a continuation 21 years later. So from what I've heard and from what I've seen in previews, it looks fantastic. I'm going to check it out this weekend. Speaking of this weekend, Sunday is Easter. It's also April Fool's Day. Oh man, I can already see the jokes and pranks starting to fly on social, in the news, and pop culture in general. So every year, brands take the mickey out of themselves and their customers as part of a friendly joke. But the question becomes, does this actually move the needle in terms of brand sentiment and sales? Believe it or not, yes. So long as it's something that's in the spirit of fun, it's not offensive or overly chiding, those kinds of things. So I'm going to use this year's clear leader, in my opinion, SodaStream, and the email campaign they just put out called Soda Soak. Basically, it's a spoof on SodaStream. Now, in the interest of full disclosure, I'm a SodaStream junkie. I've been using their products since they were called Soda Club. And seeing this put a really big smile on my face this morning. And if anything, they're going to get some additional monies from me this afternoon, as it reminded me I need to go buy some syrup today. Which is funny since I literally just picked up 2 carbonator canisters yesterday. So for those of you that don't know, SodaStream is a soda machine. You put in a carbonator cartridge. It's about 60 liters. What ends up happening is you put in a bottle of water, screw it in, pull down the lever 3 times so you hear a loud buzzing, and it actually carbonates the water, and then you put syrup or a water additive into it to add some flavor. It's a really brilliant product. It's very well done. When you click on the email that I was talking about a second ago, it takes you to a branded page called Soda Soak with a spoof video and some other information. Check out the video.
Ouch! People always ask me, Reza Farhan, you're a successful reality star. How do you look so good? Did you discover the fountain of youth? Spoiler, I did. SodaStream, the #1 sparkling water brand in the world, brings you Soda Soak, a whole new way to enjoy sparkling water by bathing in it. Built with the same advanced technology as the SodaStream sparkling water maker, the Soda Soak doesn't just stop at tickling your tongue. First-time users are saying things like,
incredible,
life-changing,
rejuvenating,
amazing.
you can choose from 3 levels of carbonation for sparkling bubbles, dazzling bubbles, and oh my gosh bubbles. Oh my gosh. And that's not all. Just like we all love to add SodaStream's delicious fruit flavors to our sparkling water, with Soda Soak, you can add our exotic scented bath oils and come out smelling like fruit punch. Pun intended.
Order Soda Soak now for only $19.99, and we'll add our luxurious waterbed adapter for only $29.99, so you can easily sparkle your bed, bath, and beyond. That's a $5,000 value for just $79.99. So go to GetSodaSoak.com and get yours today.
Seriously, do it. What are you waiting for?
However, it's interesting in how they tied into retailer Bed Bath & Beyond to drive sales back to their real product. So I love campaigns like this. They're fun, they're different, and they actually do tie back to a sales metric. So I can't wait to see what the results from this are. Now, just a reminder, Hill Story Marketing will be closed tomorrow in observance of Good Friday and the start of Passover tomorrow evening. We will reopen on Monday morning. But as such, that means there will not be an edition of the Daily Mix TV tomorrow. From everybody at Hill Story Marketing and the Daily Mix TV, I hope you and your families have a very happy Easter or Passover. And for those that are not religious, I simply hope you have a great weekend. My name is Sean Patrick Hillman. I'm the CEO of Hill Story Marketing. I'm also the editor-in-chief of the Daily Mix TV. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.